Assalamu alaikum, I'm Alyssa Monet and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk about my 2025 ins and outs, a little bit about like my mindset shifts and like goals for 2025. I think let's just start with the ins and outs because it's a simple list, but like let's start off cute and then we can get into like more deeper thoughts. So some of my ins for 2025 are number one, being cute at home. I started doing this in 2020, literally in COVID, and it boosted my confidence so much. It just made me feel so good about myself. And it was like, I remember during COVID, we were all locked away in our houses and everybody was just wearing like leggings, sweats, like all day. That was the loungewear, like boom. And that was like comfortable and all for a little bit. But as time started to stretch on, like nobody was getting dressed ever. We had nowhere to go. We had nowhere to be. Nobody was putting on like real clothes. Personally, I was never feeling like super cute because I was just in like a bun and sweats all day, every day. So it wasn't really, there was nowhere for me to go. There wasn't really a need for me to be cute. So I started just like dressing up, like putting on like proper clothes as if I was going out for the day, even if I had nothing to do, if I was just going to be in the house. Like that's what I started doing. And it just made me feel so much more confident. It made me feel like ready to tackle the day, whatever came. Even if I stayed in the house all day, I just felt like, oh, my day has started. And especially now as a hijabi, like I want to make a little bit more an effort in that vein. In earth tones, I don't know, my like I've been loving green lately so bad. And just like even in my outfits and my vibes, like I don't know, it's giving, I want to be grounded. I've been really feeling like greens lately, browns, like burnt orange, creams. Like I'm super loving that palette. It just feels a little bit more mature, but still eclectic in a way. Loving earth tones. In 25, using languages and learning languages. I've been trying to learn Spanish for like a decade now, and it's just like I've been on and off the amount of effort I put into it, like being serious about it and not being serious about it. And this year, I want to take it seriously. I want to use it every opportunity I can. I've also been trying to learn Italian and Arabic, and I just don't use them. I really don't, I'm not taking it that seriously. I'm like doing Duolingo here and there, but I'm not really like on it like I feel like I should be. So, I want to take that seriously this year. I want to learn as many languages as possible and like use them as much as possible. So that's definitely in 2025, like stepping it up a notch. In 2025 is running. I've never been a runner. Never been a runner. I used to do track and field, and it was heavy on the end field part. Even cheer too. Like when we had days where we were doing like running and like those types of exercises, I would dip. I would go to a different event. I would do form somewhere else. Like strength training, great. Once we started doing running and stamina, dub. It's just not me. And like I love biking and everything. I don't know. I just feel like I want to try running this year. Like I want to do something different. And also as adults, we never run. We never run. So I feel like that would be fun. So in this year, running, jogging, or like trying at least, putting forth the effort. In chai, no explanation. Baking, no explanation. Scrapbooking and journaling. I love doing it. I find that I only do it when I'm like on a trip or feel like I'm going somewhere that like is like special. Like, oh, I'm going to this event or this like theater play or something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, now it's a time to scrapbook. No, I just want to do like junk, people calling it junk journaling, but I just want to scrapbook like my everyday life and just like journal and write and like recap where I've been and what I've been doing. Eclectic minimalism is in 2025. I love little knickknacks, little bits and bobs. I love just like filling my walls, filling my spaces. I really like eclectic vibes, the whole checkerboard floor, like all of that. I love it. But I also just feel like I want to get rid of so much stuff. I want to do it in a way that's like minimal, literally. Like bring in a lot of color, but as little things as possible. Vibes. Reciting Quran. I do not recite Quran, guys. It's bad. Yeah, unless I have to, or like during Salah, I don't. I just don't have the confidence. I haven't been like practicing my Arabic, and yeah, it's been quite bad. So this last year in 2024, I was spending a lot of time like just trying to read Quran and like make that in my daily habit, or at least read like the translation. But this year, I want to put forth effort into like reciting and like trying to recite, trying to learn more surahs. So of course that's in reading. Reading last these past couple years I've been trying to get back into reading, and I've been reading a lot more like just in general these past couple of years. Each year it increases more, but 2025 I really just want to read. Like I want to stop doom scrolling. I don't want to be on the phone. I want to disconnect. And even though I'm like locked in for hours when I'm reading these books, it's like it feels so much better on my body just being disconnected, not knowing what time it is, having no idea how many hours have passed by, and not in a way where I'm sitting there stuck in a loop scrolling like a zombie, but I'm genuinely enjoying what I'm doing. I'm using my imagination. Like my mind has become so much more vivid, learning a lot of words, experience a lot of different people's stories. Like I love it. I love it. So reading is in. Also in observing more. In 2025 is observing more. I really want to like do less talking and more observing or like watching, like taking in what other people say. I'm a yapper. I've always been a yapper. I think when I got to college, I noticed it a lot more, and I was trying to make space for other people to speak. And I still do that a lot. Like if I see somebody looks like they have a thought or they want to join in a conversation, I'll be like, hey, did you have something you want to add? And I try to do that, but I just want to like talk less and like try it out and think more, inshallah. In 2025, staple pieces. I want to get rid of so much clothes. There's so much stuff I just don't wear. I was going through my closet today trying to find something to wear, and I was like, this is great clothes. I just never wear this. I don't need this. And I've also just been I've been loving fashion, and I really just want to continue being more sustainable, getting staple pieces, getting things that are like unique, spending like a decent amount of money on a piece of clothing that's like 100% cotton or wool or linen or something, and just having good pieces that last, and building my wardrobe with like all staple pieces and like unique things that I really enjoy and I like wearing and can style different ways and have fun with. In dhikr, I don't know what happened. The beginning of the year, I was doing decent. By the end of the year, I fell off. I fell off. I really want to incorporate dhikr more in like my daily life and my habits. Yeah, not really necessary to explain. And mocktails. That's the last thing I have on my list to be in. Um, yeah, like what? I just love a well curated drink. Like before Islam, I wasn't a big drinker, but what I enjoyed about drinking is the artisan like craft of creating a drink, like adding all these different taste profiles and having the spice and like all that stuff. That's what I really enjoy. So I really don't need the alcohol. I could care less about that, but I want to do more making my own mocktails, stuff like that. Going out places that have really great mocktails that are like well crafted, tasty, and like that are good for you, because like, sans alcohol, I don't want to just be drinking like syrup and club soda. Like I want to be drinking actual like more like tonics, like mocktail tonic vibes. Okay, out in 2025, cancel culture. Cancel culture is out. Like I think especially in Islam, like we're taught to take the middle path. We're taught not to be extremists, right? This is what we should be promoting in our daily lives. And I feel like cancel culture, and people have been saying it for a while, but cancel culture has gotten so out of hand. We don't give anybody a chance to redeem themselves. And it's just not fair. Like, I think we need to give people benefit of the doubt just a little bit more. There are some people or organizations that are just sinister, that just don't care. And I think we can tell when that's the case. But people also make mistakes. And I think that like in 2025, I really want to do better at not providing excuses for people, but trying to understand people's perspectives, and like stop canceling. Like there's certain stuff we should cancel. Okay, that's fine. But everything doesn't need to be canceled as soon as one thing happens. Like I can't even deal. Okay, also out in 2025, stress and worry. I'm tired of worrying. I'm tired of stressing. I didn't stress like OD in 2024, but I just like, you know, I'm just giving everything to God. Literally, I'm giving everything to God, and that's it. I don't want to stress. I don't want to worry. This year, I really want to just like make my du'as, make them with conviction, and give Allah my stress and worries, and go about my day. Like I'm not stressing this year, inshallah. I'm not stressing this year. I don't want to stress about nothing. I just want to make my dua and go. Okay. Also out, fear, fear. I feel like one of my big mottos of 2025 is gonna be like feel afraid and do it anyway. Feel afraid and do it anyway. I know a lot of people have been doing that like rejection, what is it called? Like rejection therapy or whatever, where they like go and do something outrageous just so they can feel like that rejection and they don't have to be scared of it anymore. And like that's exactly what I want. 2025, I just don't want to be scared of anything anymore. I just want to grab opportunities like by the balls, excuse my French or my language, whatever. But I just want to grab opportunities by the balls. I want to stop being scared. Stopping being scared is not realistic. but I want to be able to feel the fear and do it anyway. I want to be able to say, like, yeah, this is new, this is scary, this is strange. I haven't tried this before, or I haven't done this, done something this way, or whatever, right? And just do it anyway. So fear is out. Complacency out. No explanation. Instant gratification out. Comparing out. Clutter out. Clutter is difficult for me. I'm very, like I said, I'm very much like a trinkets knickknack person, but I just want to pare down. I want to pare down on everything. Just want to get rid of so much stuff. I don't need so much stuff, and like make space for new, better things to come into my life. So, period. Clutter is out in every aspect, and like mental clutter, digital clutter, physical clutter, everything out. Holding on to things I don't need out, and doom scrolling out. All those things are out in 2025. Okay, now that I've gone through some of my ins and outs, I just want to talk a little bit about like mindset shift for 2025, my word of the year, and things like that. So I think I touched on a lot with the ins and outs, but my word for 2025 is discipline. 100% discipline. I feel like so many of us lack it right now. And I see those people doing like cold plunges at 4 in the morning and like all this stuff. And like for what? Because there's supposedly a long term benefit, whatever. They have this discipline. And I think also as Muslims, one thing that people admire about us a lot is our discipline, especially when it comes to our salah or our prayer. And I want to really take that and apply it to every aspect of my life. And I'm thinking about this in terms of like restructuring my relationship with discipline. I want to restructure my relationship with discipline. I don't want discipline to feel like a nasty, mean word anymore. I really just want discipline to mean like consistency, holding myself to what I tell myself I'm gonna do. I feel like a lot of times we're so quick to, tell somebody else we're gonna do things and stick by it and like really show up for other people in our lives, and we don't show up for ourselves the same way. And I'm kind of sick and tired of doing that. Like I want to show up for myself. When I say I'm going to do something, I want to do it. And I do that for other people and I don't do it for me. So I want to be much better with that. I want to have discipline. This also comes in with the idea of like instant gratification being out. What do they call it? It's not instant gratification, delayed gratification. Delayed gratification, that's in. Totally, totally in. Um, yeah, I just want to have like discipline and consistency you know I want to romanticize life and the things that I have to do, and like instead of having the mindset of I have to do it, being like I want to do this because this is going to help me reach my goal. And talking about that and like discipline and mindset shifts, I don't like these major huge goals that a lot of us set for ourselves, 5-year plan, 10-year plan. I've never been able to do that. I can barely even think a year out. And even then, my goals, I don't know if they're realistic. I'm either overselling myself or underselling myself. And then at the end of the day, we control nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala controls everything. And so at the end of the year, your life could have gone completely different than you wanted, and you didn't reach those goals, but you got these other things that you couldn't have even imagined. And so I'm kind of just also tired of setting goals, especially these big, huge things. I just want consistency. And Allah tells us that the small, consistent acts are like the things that He appreciates most. And that's like most important. And I think that's key to life. So I just want to incorporate small acts and tasks in my everyday life, like really making my goals a lifestyle, meeting it with consistency and discipline, even when I don't want to, or don't feel like it, so that I can like reach the goals I want to reach. So, for example, language learning. What I've been doing is like this past year has just been just keeping my Duolingo streak, which is fine. But I want to put more effort into it. At minimum, I want to do my Duolingo streak, a lesson or 2 lessons or whatever a day, but I want to have consistency in like taking language lessons or listening to things in that target language and like putting forth the effort to do that. Even when it comes to like doing my work and things like that, I procrastinate so bad. And when I'm doing freelance stuff, it always comes to bite me in the butt because I just feel like, oh, I can't be creative if it's not on this time. But no, sometimes I just need to like set myself up in a way, like get myself excited to do what I said I'm going to do, get my little drinky drink, put my little, whatever fireplace on, and, get in the zone and get in the habit of just doing things, whether I want to do them or I feel like doing them or not. Because at the end of the day, I want to do the thing. Like, I want to be successful. I want to meet that goal, but I'm just not doing it because I don't feel like it. Oh, this just doesn't feel like the time. Like, screw that. That's just, it's just dead. I think I've spoken already about discipline in 2025. I've spoken about like mindset shifts in terms of like lifestyle change. And I really just think 2025 is going to be the year of like lifestyle change. And it's so interesting because, backstory now, I converted to Islam in 2023. And in 2024, that was the year I feel like of establishment. Like, I was establishing myself in Islam and in those Islamic values and routines. But I was also just establishing myself. Like, I turned 2025, I mean, 2025, oh my days. I turned 25 last year. It was like it's one of those milestone years, and life is just getting like, it's getting more serious. It's really just getting more serious, and I feel like I'm just trying to establish myself as an adult, figuring out who I am as a human being, as a person, not labeling myself by my career path or whatever it may be, and figuring out like what I genuinely want, what feels important to me, and like what am I doing day to day to achieve that. It's interesting too because I think Islam has given me a renewed sense of confidence, like so bad. Just knowing my values, being able to stand firm in my values, being unshakable in my values, and knowing that I'm approaching every situation like the best I can, with the knowledge that I have, has been so empowering. I think in 2024, I left behind people pleasing. I just want to be true to myself. Like, I've been wanting to be true to myself, and that's been most important to me. And that's a journey that I'm going to keep going on this year. Is like, I want to show up in a space and I want to reply to things, not how people want me to reply, not how people expect me to react and reply, but I just want to reply in a way that feels true to myself. I feel like it's best to just stick by me and stand by me and stand by my values, stand firm in those values, that when I go out, if I get a bad response to something I said, I don't regret what I said because I got a bad response to it, because I know I stuck by my values, versus like like, and I didn't do it in ways where I'm trying on purpose to please people. You don't notice till later. You're like, why did I say that? And it was just because you felt like they might receive it in a better way, and then you get a bad response and you're like, dang, I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have said this, or this is how I really feel. Why didn't I even, why didn't I back my opinion or my belief or whatever it is? So that's just dead. And that's something I left behind in 2024. And in 2025, I just want to keep doing that work, keep feeling more confident in myself, in my values, in the things I say I'm going to do. And just not thinking too deep about people's responses to me, because I can only do what I can only control my own actions. I can't control how other people think of me. I can't control how other people react or respond to me. Like, it's really, and low key, it's just none of my business. Like, it has nothing to do with me. So I'm leaving that in 2024. I'm just excited for 2025. I think the biggest thing for me is, a lot of people set these goals up for themselves and they never achieve them. And the reason why they don't achieve them is because it's not a lifestyle change. You have these goals for yourself, but you don't know how you're going to accomplish them. You didn't break it down into monthly tasks. You didn't break it down into weekly tasks. You're not changing anything about your day-to-day life. And I find that, like, in this past year, I don't feel like I've changed much. Subhanallah, because I don't feel it, and it's because I've just been making small changes every day. Every day I just put my best foot forward and try to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more kind, smile a little bit more, right? It's those little things that you do sprinkled throughout your day, and now you've done 100 things that are different. And if you do that every day, it makes such an impact. And with saying I don't think I've changed much, like, that doesn't mean I haven't changed much. I look at myself this time last year, I'm like, wow, there's really so much that I've done. There's so much that I didn't give myself credit for, that I didn't think about, but I'm still the same me. I just feel like my character has been refined. And I love that for me. So yeah, I think those are my thoughts for 2025. I have other goals too, other things I'm thinking about, but I'm not too stressed on anything. Ah, that was long. I'm still yapping. I'm gonna end it here. Happy 2025. And oh, I'm not gonna end it here. With Ramadan coming up as well, now is the perfect time to start those changes. Fast once a week, or every other week. Start doing things that you weren't doing before. Start wearing your hijab to Jummah on Fridays. Start praying one salah a day or two salah a day if you're not doing that yet. Start now instilling those habits. So by the time Ramadan comes around, it's number one, easier. And number two, you can start making those lifestyle changes instead of it just being a month of just push through for a month and we're doing everything and we're going crazy for a month. And then by the end of Ramadan, you're so tired. No, start now. And if you're not Muslim and this is just 2025 and you're just trying to approach the year, start now so that by the springtime, when the sun starts coming out for real, you are so entrenched in these daily habits that it comes easy to you and you can jump into the next season, with already a well-established routines and set yourself up for success for the rest of the year. So yeah, I will actually leave it at that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.